August 25th, 10 a.m., 2023, Friday. Let's get into it. Garden updates, end of August. This will be the last video in August for the weekly updates. Just to reiterate, this is all growing up for its fourth cut of hay this season. And I'm still working on this back half. I've gotten a good amount done to this east side over here, kind of like from there to there, but then the rest all needs to be done. I think I've outgrown the blade that I have, so I have a new longer scythe blade coming in the mail. Should be here today or tomorrow, and that will help me get the rest of this pasture done. And the blade I have right now is 24 inches. The one that's coming is 32. So looking forward to that. And these Jerusalem artichokes are getting up there. Those two right there, probably in the 10 to 12 feet range. And these can get to 18 feet. So that's pretty cool. This north side is really putting on the production. As I observed last year, this north side still gets enough sun from when the sun rises and then goes to the front of the garden, and then usually would set back there at the peak of summer. But now it's setting more like here, and it gets filtered sunlight from the west through the trees. But even with all the shade from these 10 to 12 foot tall, we still got flint corn and the tomatoes fruiting up. And there is a third succession of pumpkins that I tried in there, but I don't think that they are going to. Oh, this one actually might. It's putting out flowers. It might actually get some fruit on the north side with the pumpkins, so that's pretty cool to see. And then the sweet corn is putting on some cobs as well. And this big delicata squash is coming around the corner here. Nice tomato set. So in here, it is just taking over. I've gotten about 2 harvests down this whole row of Tokyo market turnips, and for the third harvest will be in another 2 weeks. Try to let them get up to a good size. And I just got 30 to 35 watermelon radishes out of there. Pretty good size, about twice the size of a golf ball. And then all of these Moscovich and New York early tomatoes are coming in for some nice fresh late fall tomatoes if we don't get that early frost. I don't know where you all live, but we live in, this is some spearmint I've transplanted from a park. It's coming in really nice. I don't know where you all live, but here in Vermont, southern Vermont, zone 5A to 4B, so we could get anywhere 6 minutes down in the valley. We could get down to negative 20 to 25, and up here just 6 minutes, 200 feet higher in elevation, we can see negative 30 to negative 40 up here with the wind chill. So even though the soil doesn't really start to warm until about the 3rd week in June, here we are in the 3rd week of August, which is about 90 days, and leaves are already starting to change on the trees. So fall will be here in we're less than a month away from our expected first frost date. Look at these elders, first year, stuck in the ground from a cutting. So unless you have a greenhouse on the beginning side of the season from, March to late May, and then on the end of the season you can use Agribon cover sorry, my throat, And then once again, you can use a greenhouse if available to you. This nice row of broccoli coming through nice, which was previously early potatoes. And all of these tomatoes were previously potatoes. Ooh, and look at that delicata. Coming in nice. So, unless you have protection on the shoulder seasons, you really got about 90 to 115 days for your season for warm weather crops, your eggplants, your cucumbers, your summer squash, your tomatoes, your pumpkins. But to go on that topic, I just harvested the first succession of New England pie pumpkins, which is this pumpkin over here. These will be the second succession, ripening up nicely. But the first succession that I just harvested was planted on May 18th, direct sown in the soil from my own saved seed from last year on May 18th. And I just harvested them, 2 days ago? So, and that which would have been August 23rd. So literally just about 90 to 95 days from seed in the ground to harvest off of my own saved seed. So that proving the fact that if we continue to save our seed each year, even though we have short, cool seasons depending on the year, we can adapt our plants to our climate, which is a pretty cool thing. So we have sweet potato slips all going through here, medicinal cannabis plants, some amaranth, those raspberries that put on a nice fall fruit. I hand selected this, so if all goes well, those are going to put on a nice October berry. The cucumbers are kind of tapping out. Only a week later, I tried to do some good hard pruning on them. We've just received non-stop rain. We just got our 14th rain of August, 17 for July, and 19 for June, and it just keeps on going. Cabbage, Brussels sprouts, intermixed sweet potatoes in the understory, mint, peppers, kohlrabi intermixed in the understory, nice row of arugula, and I am really proud of this as well. My first Vermont set of peppers. Also, not from my own saved seed, but they were from a local farm about half hour south in Massachusetts, so a more locally / regionally adapted pepper than it would have been if I had bought it from somewhere else. It's as close as you can get, a half hour away farm in Mass. And right under have just been transplanted in some kale, soil blocks. All of the saving seed from radish project has ended. We now have it sowed to daikons. Still trying to get the seed off of these lettuces. And then the back row is now planted to mustard greens and cold hardy winter density lettuce. This broccoli is really starting to take off. I'm really looking forward to some fall broccoli. That oak tree. This whole side is just a mess. There's eggplants behind there's the eggplants. Eggplants behind the cucumbers. All milkweed planted from seed, 3rd year yarrow. New England pie pumpkins making its way through there. All of the amaranth. Some lettuce going to seed back there. There's all Brussels sprouts in the understory of all of this, and kale and cabbage. So when all of these warm season crops die back, there's already the next succession waiting there for the light release. Some beautiful mountain mint. I have 3 different kinds of mint. The spearmint seen in the beginning, the mountain mint, and some chocolate mint right over there. We have some strawberries, more mustard greens going to seed, some sage, oregano. There is also Swiss chard in here that will make its way through. There's the New England pie pumpkin. This is on the same vine that I just harvested those first ones from, so now that'll give energy to let this one ripen up, and the vine just keeps on growing right at my foot here. So a lot going on, and this will be the end of August. Non-stop rain, but everything continues to thrive. And these winter storage potatoes are starting to die off a little bit right here, but all of the rest of the German butterball, 2 rows, and all of these kinds are still kicking in. So stay tuned. We have a lot of more season to go. I'm going to try and keep these peppers going as planned. If I can get row cover over this, if they don't get too tall. We'll have the cold hardy kale under the row cover, and then we'll let the peppers go a few weeks past our first frost into October with the row cover. Because after we get our first frost, usually it takes another 3 weeks to 2 weeks, depending on the year. Maybe this year it's a little bit different, for us to get our next frost. I'm going really fast because I'm trying to not make this go into 2 parts. I can only do 12-minute videos without it going into 2 parts. So much love, wholeness. We'll see you in September. Thank you for everyone's support.